We are live. Welcome to the Comic Bros Symbiote Talk. I guess it is the official first episode, and I am this host of the first episode because depending on what book we're talking about, the Comic Bros here.
I guess it is the official first.
We got some Oh, there we go. We're good now.
Rookie mistake, brother.
Yeah.
So,
God.
depending on what book we're talking about, we'll be hopping from channel to channel. And since we are talking Venom, that's right, Venom issue 13, we are on my channel, 90MF Comics. So I'm excited, and I'm joined, like I said, by my two comic bros. And I definitely got to just make sure he always knows, especially when he's on Y290's channel, that YouTube is 90. What is going on, Macho Head 84?
YouTube is indeed 90. Happy to be here, bro. Symbiote Talk. I read the issue. I got the issue in hand, the Inhyuk Lee variant. Ready to rock through this baby.
Hell yeah. And also joining us is our other comic bro, the man, the HBK himself, Jeffrey Khamikon Henson. What's going on, brother?
Not much. How you guys doing tonight? Good to be here.
No, man, we are doing awesome. I'm finally happy we got this off the ground. We've been talking about it for how long now?
Too long, man. Too long.
This feels crazy, like surreal to me that it's actually happened. It's on a Wednesday night against all the heavy hitters. Wednesday night, new comic book day. We don't care. We got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Issue 13.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, I just read it. I just got home from work. I didn't even have time to change or get cleaned up. Came in, read this book, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Talk about this.
As am I. We do have a couple people in the chat, and by a couple, I mean literally two people in the chat joining us right now. We have Drayvon Doom. What is going on, brother? And we also have Comic Lover Omega. We are Venom. That is right. Why I'm rocking the Venom shirt. So, yeah, super indeed. So, all right. War of the Realms tie-in, Venom issue 13. Let me just say, even though Donny Cates did not write this and Cullen Bunn wrote this, I am all about it. I thought it was very well written. I thought it was, I think it ties in very well into War of the Realms as well, too, if you guys are reading that. Both of you guys are reading that, correct?
Yeah. I just picked up issue, 3 today?
Yeah, 3. Bro, that cover on 3. Hold on, I got it right here. That cover right on 3, man.
Yeah, I actually haven't read any of the issues though, but I do have them.
I only read number 1.
Oh, all right.
And I'm not sure I'm gonna.
This is the first book, honestly, I've read in like a month, so I'm behind on a lot of. I'm behind on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That included War of the Realms, so I got to get in gear with that.
Well, I will say that I'm happy to make you read.
Yeah, no, thanks. I needed it. I'm
happy to
behind.
Read. Oh, there we go. We got a member of 90 Miles from Comics joining us. We got my boy D-High, Derek Hyde, joining us in the chat, throwing wrenches. The wrench war has begun once again. Just
Symbiote. I like that.
Too good. So, yeah. All right, well, I'm caught up on War of the Realms. I'll actually probably be reading issue 3 before I go to bed tonight. I cannot wait to read it. As you guys may or may not know, War of the Realms is Jason Aaron's grand finale of Thor. He's mentioned plenty of times he does not have too much on Thor after this event. So that's why I'm invested in this, and I'm digging it. So, and you know what else I'm digging? Venom 13. And let's just say this. It kicks off right where it kind of leaves off in issue 12, where the last thing we see is like the symbiote kind of like walk off on his own, and we don't know where he's at. And, I guess, now you have Eddie with his son, and
his son still doesn't know that he's his son.
Yeah, and it's mentioned right off the first, page. I'm happy that you mentioned that, Jeff, because it's, right off the bat that's mentioned. Like, just a little shot for the people. So they're running through the town. The War of the Realms has started. So, of course, Dark Elves are already going through the city and whatnot. And Eddie's parental instincts kicked in, and he's like, okay, we're not dying. And instead of him referring to him in his symbiote, he's referring to him and his son. And I think this is kind of cool because now we're really starting to see a different side of Eddie Brock we have never seen before. And shout outs to Donny Cates taking a character that, you know, people love and doing new things with him, and now putting him in situations that we probably would never see Eddie Brock in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that they're definitely trying to, because before it was always just like Eddie Brock was the guy who played Venom, and it was kind of like, you know, Venom and Eddie Brock were the same. Now I feel like they're trying to flesh Eddie Brock out a lot more and kind of, you know, tell us who he is, I guess, give us a little more insight on him as a person instead of him as like Venom, you know?
And I think the other thing, like I said, like to me, I'm just happy we're getting to see him in just a different light, I guess, you know? And I guess to your point, Jeff, we're going to tap into who Eddie Brock really is. And we can also see right off the bat that even though without the Venom symbiote, he's pretty much a lot like of what he was portrayed as in the symbiote, no? As we find out in the...
He's definitely down to mix it up, man. He's
Yo, is Jeff's getting text over there? Are you getting text from John, bro? I know.
Isn't that no? Not from John. Okay. Is that easy to tell though?
Yeah. No, it's not. It's funny. I can just tell when Jeff gets one of those texts. Sorry to cut you off, Kenny. Go ahead.
That's cool.
It's all right. Yeah, in the first half of the comic, he's symbiote-less. It's just Eddie Brock, and you know he's down for the action. He's not scared. And when you mentioned a line that I liked on like the second or third page, you mentioned his parental instincts, and he's like, parental instincts were beaten out of me by my old man, but I know a dad gives everything he's got to keep his kids safe. But that was a cool line. His parental instinct got beaten out of him by his old man.
Right, and that's kind of like that reminds me of like how the symbiote's relationship to like Eddie was, because the symbiote was always like there to take care of him, and I guess that kind of feels like something that would, you know, the symbiote would have like done to Eddie before.
No, for sure. And as Kenny was mentioning there, they're like going through the city, and he's like, you know, protecting them from this crazy other earthly, you know, monster.
Yeah.
And then I'll say this, I do like this in front of all the War of the Realms. You get the whole map of, you know, which clan is taking over what part of the world, which is kind of cool.
That's crazy. I gotta read that. Start reading that, man.
So we get to this next part where Eddie, you know, to what Kenny was saying, like, you know, he doesn't have a symbiote in the first half of the book, or any symbiote, so to speak. So I guess, spoiler alert, something does happen where he gets something symbiote-like. And he comes across, like, you know, these regular people getting hunted down by dark elves. And, you know, he tells Dylan to stay back, and he kind of, like, goes in and, you know, saves the day, so to speak, but gets kind of beat up and gets stabbed. And he gets kind of, like, left there. Like, he gets stabbed from behind, as you guys can see here in this panel there. And he kind of gets there to get, you know, to bleed out or whatnot. And then one of the elves finds Dylan and is getting ready to, like, I guess, kill him. And then Eddie just comes up behind him. And I thought this, you know, one of those things, like, do anything for your kid right there, and just, like, snaps his neck, you know?
Yeah, hits him with the neck snap. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I like the sound effect for it.
And then,
I like sorry.
Snap. It was snap. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like take it back before that, when like Eddie Brock walks up to the three demon elves, or is that they were demon elves?
Dark elves,
and they're like making fun of him for even trying to like be a hero. You know, they're like, oh, this guy with no armor and no weapons like tries to fight us and all this stuff. So this is like one of the first times you see Eddie Brock like try to like step up and do something, you know, without the suit. So
you know what I noticed too is Eddie he talks a little hood kind of like, like when the dark elves roll up, he goes 3 against 1. That's a punk move,
right? Yes.
there was like 2 or 3 things that he says that I'm like, oh shit. He's like, sounds a little hood.
He's just keeping it real.
You know? Yeah, I'll look for the other ones when I find them, but that was definitely one of them.
No, for sure. So eventually, Dylan helps him. They kind of get out, and Eddie's like, yo, we got to get to the safe house. And he references Rex's safe house from issue 1, which was pretty cool. So, they eventually get there. He's showing off all the guns and whatnot. And then I guess as they get there, there's this, elderly dark elf that's like more sorceress-like, I guess you can so to speak. She's almost like a witch. She's like a witch, pretty much. So
yeah, because like before that, when they leave to go to the safe house, those witches are in the spot where they did battle before, and it's like they give you one panel where they're plotting something, and she's like, oh, he's a would-be warrior, full of rage, but without a weapon and armor. And then one of the other ones says, now is not the time for your games of corruption. And she's like, nah, there's always time for some games. You can see there's something, they're like plotting something in store, some games. But yeah, you're right. Then they roll up to the safe house. And there she is, the little witch elf.
Yeah.
So, and then she offers this stone to Eddie because she knows and senses that like he doesn't have his weapon and he's there for weapons, but not those weapons. And she gives him this stone, and this stone gives you like, I guess gives you what you want with your dreams and stuff like that. And and tells him, it's going to be the weapon that you desire. And I guess, in return, he's got to help her in a sense. So he takes the stone and then he venomizes out. And I think this is a cool little, version of Venom that we see here. With the claws and, with the bones spikes kind of sticking out, and then you can kind of see like the stone kind of like flowing through him, which I thought this was kind of cool and something that was different. So
he looks kind of doomsday-ish.
Yeah, I was thinking like Hulk 2099 or something.
But, it's definitely different. And then, he definitely shows his power and is like, yo, I ain't succumbing to what you want me to do. I'm doing my own type of thing. And, it's like kind of like beats off the witch, so to speak.
There's one. Yeah, right. Hey, there's like one picture in here where, which one was it? It's like, he's like right here. I don't know, for some reason, like I just get a Spawn vibe from him in this one right here. He's like swinging. I don't know if it's the suit or what, but it just, I was like, man, that kind of reminds me of like Spawn.
And how about the witch? You know what's dope about that witch is like, how about the fact that she has no eyes in her socket.
But like from her hair.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
From her hair. It looks it's a pretty cool design, actually.
And the art is good in this book.
Yeah, it's not. I enjoyed it.
I didn't think the art was bad at all. And then, so eventually, like I said, he chops the witch's arm off and sends her on her way. And then, he finds, goes up to Dylan and tells him, like, look, he gives him a gun. He goes, like, look, you're going to stay here where it's safe. I'm just going to go out there and, like, do what I got to do because, the earth needs saving. And he's like, what, you're going to leave me here? And he kind of, like, traps him in there and dips, and he's on his way. And now, he comes across, like, these dark elves, and he pretty much just starts going to town, man, and starts doing his thing. And the best part about this, and my favorite part about, I guess, the book is that, and I guess before we get to the end, he's having this dialogue with, Eddie with himself, talking about, it feels like Venom, but it's not at the same time. And it's not, and it's just him and it's his thoughts. And he almost starts questioning himself, being a monster because these things that he's doing and, he's just raging out on people. I don't know if you could show that, Kenny. He's just kind of sort of just raging out.
See, my favorite like action panel was this one when he shoots out like some symbiote tentacle stuff, and like, dude, he knocks that dude's head clear off his neck. Like, that is such a cool panel. He's like, smash.
Yeah, I like the next page after that in the top left corner. Like he's just standing over the dude. Like he's got his like axe in his hand, and like the dude's head's just kind of floating there in like the symbiote web or something like that. The dude's body's on the ground, and you just see his head cut off.
And like Chad was saying, he says he's about to say, "We are Venom." He's like, "We are ... And he's like, "No, I am Venom."
Yeah.
So he's like,
you know, can you show that Bubby what it is? It's a. Oh, Jeff's got us. Sweet.
Oh, that page, yeah.
I don't know if you can see it down there. It says, "I am."
Because he was getting ready to say "we," but then he's "I am." Because once again, like it's just him, and it's only his thoughts, going through. So he takes care of business and murks everyone in town, and then we got the witch elf who's all defeated because the plan was to get him to help him because he wasn't gonna be able to, I guess, to overcome the power of the stone where they would be able to use them to be a weapon for them, part of the war. But obviously her plan didn't work out, and she didn't want to go back to her friends who she was having that little meeting with, saying
her sister, she said, right?
Is it her sisters? Yeah, I think you're right.
That's what she kept referring to him as.
Yeah, but witches, they all refer to each other as evil sisters, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
If I was to give a critique on it, I'd say the whole, like, it seemed like a real kind of cheap way to just put him in a Venom suit real quick, because it really doesn't make sense on the witch's part of, like, he's doing battle, he kills one of them, and they're like, oh, let's play a game. Let me give him this jewel that will, like, grant him whatever wish he wants, and
we might have
maybe he'll help us.
Let's play a game. There he is.
But, like, I could see if
you pause for a second there, bro.
Really? He's been good on me.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. He paused on my end. He goes like, "Oh, let's give him this. Play a game. Give him."
And then how about now? Am I better now?
Yeah, you're good now on my end.
Okay.
My bad.
It's all right. So he's like, "Yeah, let's play this game." She gives him the crystal. You can grant whatever kind of wish you want, and just, hey, can you please help me out in return? And he's like, it seems like obvious that he's not. I mean, they just attacked him. They tried to kill his son, and he's like, oh, good looks on the suit, merc, and just goes on about his business. So it's like that. I don't know. I just
but I think the crystal was also supposed to, like, make
him out or something.
Well, no, was also supposed to, like, in a sense, like, make him, wield to it in a sense where he was gonna, like, do whatever they wanted or said. Like, he was like, it was supposed to be like they looked at him as weak-minded enough where the crystal would have, like, kind of, like, overcome him, I think. And I think
it also says, like, the crystal grants you your most wanted dreams or your darkest fears or something like that. So I feel like maybe they were trying to think that it would pull out some inner nightmare type of situation. And instead he was like, yes, give me my suit. Boom.
Yeah. And I kind of, that's how I feel with you there, Jeff. Like, I'm on the same page with you there. Sorry. I'm
not disagreeing with Kenny's, like, thing. That was definitely a very easy way to all of a sudden, like, make. The thing that I got from this was that I feel like they were trying to give Eddie a way to be Venom without it having to be Eddie and Venom. I think this is how they're trying to move forward with Venom as being Eddie Brock's character. It's not. I think they're trying to get away from the symbiote connection with Eddie Brock because like, they want to create somebody, and it's probably has to do with movies and things like that, right? Like, they want to be able to make a star out of Eddie Brock, and kind of like, as to where it was always like a 2-man crew. Now they're just trying, I think, to bring the focus to Eddie Brock.
And because I like where they ended up, because that's seems interesting to me. Of like, what is Eddie Brock with the power of the Venom suit just in total control, no symbiote. How does that play out? So like that's definitely interesting. They took a real short road to get there. I would have liked to seen him maybe like be under its control for a little bit and then have to like fight it, or maybe later he'll kind of like pay a price for you know, rocking the suit or something.
Yeah. And I think part of it though too is they spending a lot of time with this whole Eddie being a parent thing, you know, like I'm not sure if I don't know what him having a son is going to do to any part of his character, but like the last half of issue 12 and now the first half of issue 13 were all about him like dealing with being a parent, and like it's not bad, but like I could do without it unless they plan on leading into something with it. So
well, I would also, you know, tell you, don't forget this is only 3 issues that we're having like a temporary writer on. So, you know, and it's got to be War of the Realms related. So I think, you know, you kind of have to like, I mean, I'll say this. I'm happy he got some sort of symbiote or weapon fast, because I don't want to read no whole issue with Eddie Brock without something like in a War of the Realms type book. You know what I'm saying? So now he's ready to go. I like, you know, I mean, yeah, you can question it, but I like how it just got to the point. We're in it. He's got some sort of a weapon now, and I'm excited to see. And I think how they tied it into War of the Realms using like, you know, a dark elf witch and all that, you know, it works. I'm like,
yeah,
they crossed their, you know, their T's and dotted their I's. Like, you know, I as a reader, like I didn't, you know,
that's exactly what
I wasn't able to question much. I'm like, all right, cool, I can get along with this. Like, I don't have to dig too deep. And I guess that's from my perspective.
I totally agree with that in the sense of they definitely were using this issue to bring it into War of Realms. So, I mean, they had to do something, and I think they did it fairly well. So,
yeah. And then I guess
And
are we going to talk about the last page, or are we waiting?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
What are we gonna say, Kenny?
Well, I was just gonna say maybe I'll be the token negative guy on the shows, because I was just gonna say like Jeff just said, he's like, you know, they had to push it, they had to weave in War of the Realms, and they did a pretty good job doing it, right? Which they did, fair enough. But that's the thing that sometimes that gets me with events and tie-ins, is like, regardless of whatever the writer had envisioned for this story arc, now he has to shoehorn in some event thing into their book. You know what I'm saying? Like that first 10 issues of the Donny Cates run, which is really well done. Like, you want a writer to sit down and have a vision of like, all right, this is what I want to do with the character. And then all of a sudden you get the letter from the editor. Hey, make sure in issue 6 that you shoehorn in this Asgardian war and this. And like, hey, bro, hold on. I had, you know, a game plan of what I wanted to do with this character.
We haven't had that so far in Venom though, through 12. Like, all right, and I only know this because I guess because I'm a huge Donny Cates fan. But they only got to issue. The only reason why he's not on the book right now is he needed time away to work on the Carnage event that he's doing in the summer. So that's the only reason why he's not writing it right now. And it's only 3 issues to go do what he's got to do for that, and then he's coming right back on it. So I think this was like sort of planned out by Marvel, and I think that to me this is why it fits in so well, because I'm sure this is, you know, they had this guy like, yo, you have to stay within what we're doing. We're hiring, you know, we want you to do something with, you know, in this event that's going on, and I think that's probably why it feels, you know, why it fits so well, because you don't have the writer that's invested into his own storyline doing it and now has to like break off and do that, because you hadn't had anything tied into Venom at all up until this point except whatever was going on in Venom. You know what I'm saying? So I think to your point, Kenny, for me, that's why it works. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it doesn't feel like the writer's forced to put this in. Like, this guy is.
Oh yeah, it works. Yeah, and I really enjoyed the issue.
No, for sure.
When I get in review mode, I try to critique.
No, I
enjoyed this.
I bet he'd be like, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing no tying shit. I bet he's a rock star too. They probably listen to him.
Yeah, I enjoyed this issue from the point where Eddie Brock walks up to those 3 dark elves and starts beating them up on. The rest of that, I felt like I didn't know really what the heck, why it was there. Like, is all. I just didn't know why it needed to be there. So, like, but yeah, no, I don't have a problem with this issue.
All right, and let's get to the end of the book. So, as we were mentioning before, the witch that got defeated and doesn't want to go back to her sisters, as a failure.
Before you show it or anything, I do have one question about it I want to ask.
Okay.
Like, who is it?
Oh, I could tell you who that is. I will reveal that before. Let me give you the big reveal, and that'll probably make it a little better for you. And I guess before we get to it too, I just want to show this panel with Venom chopping off heads.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. How sweet is that? That's cool.
Sick panel, right? Chopping off heads.
I would like to see it bigger, but
yeah, chopping off heads with the axe and I am Venom. So anyway, as we were going, saying the witch is talking to somebody, doesn't want to go back to being a failure, and goes, and offers up the stone to this next person, and then when you turn the page, it's Hobgoblin.
Is that who that is?
I thought that was Jack-O-Lantern.
Oh, Jack-O-Lantern. Sorry, you're right. I don't know what you're right. It is Jack-O-Lantern. I don't know why I thought it was Hobgoblin for a second. But
I didn't know if it was Ghost Rider or what.
No, Jack-O-Lantern is. So,
well, I don't blame you because pumpkins, Green Goblin and Hobgoblin always be throwing pumpkins around.
And yeah, I just saw the orange flaming head, and I was like, why does Ghost Rider have a pumpkin on his head?
Yeah. And only like one of his eyes is glowing, and maybe almost made me think like Cable.
Yeah, no,
with that one eye.
That looks cool though. I was excited to see that. So
that's probably the dopest I've ever seen Jack-O-Lantern look.
Yeah, no,
it looks crazy.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm kind of curious to see what happens when he takes the crystal. Is he going to turn into like a symbiote too, or what?
Well, no, it's whatever his dreams are.
Right. That could be cool. I like when they do when like a C-list type character, especially villains, get incorporated and like they breathe some new life into him and make him badass. Like I hope they do that with Jack-O-Lantern because he's a cool looking character. I really don't know much about his story, but
yeah, I don't either.
But I like when they do that.
Yo, but fun read.
Yeah, for sure.
Fun read. Venom 13, Biggie Shaq. Thank you for joining us. You're here again.
Hey.
So let me strap up real quick and show off some gold, yo. Anytime Shaq's in the building, gotta strap up.
Gotta show respect. Gotta show respect. Get the straps up for Biggie Shaq.
Strap on for Biggie Shaq. So, but yeah, man, this is a fun read, man. I dig it. Until Donny Cates comes back, I guess this will work for now. But I'm excited for Donny Cates to come back, see what he's going to be doing, where he left off with the symbiote kind of being his own person or being its own, thing. So I want to see where that goes. And I'm super excited for the Ultimate Carnage event that will be happening in the summer. So I'll be on that. And I guess we'll be continuing that with this if you guys are about that. So
yeah, so it is Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day. Did you guys pick anything up?
Yeah, for sure. We can go through that again if we want to do that.
I haven't shown mine, so I'll be down.
Yeah, I did this on my channel before, but
I'm down to show it off to the.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was busy working, man.
No, you're good, bro.
You guys in your East Coast times, I always miss all your guys' shows,
Just watch the replays, brother. Just watch the replays. All right. So I got quite a few Marvel and DC books this week, actually. I had to catch up on a couple things, especially because what we're doing. All right. I guess I'll kick it off with DC. Do we want to just go one around, or do we want to just show off what we picked up, like bam, 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 bam?
Whatever you guys want.
All right. So I guess I'll just show off what I picked up from DC real quick. That's how I'll do it. So I had to catch up, and if anyone's been watching before, as I mentioned earlier, I did not get one of these in my pull, which is Detective 1001. And now that we're finally up and running, I got to be caught up on Tech Talk. So Comic Bros, we did that. And I also picked up 1002, which came out last week, and I already caught up on both of them. and read both of them, so I'm ready to go. Can't wait to tell you what I thought about these on Tech Talk. When are we going to do that, Kenny? Because we're doing that one on your channel.
Yeah, brother. I don't know. Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday? All right. We're going to next Tuesday. Tech Talk.
Tech
Tuesday.
But we'll keep it posted. I think it might be Tuesday. We got to make sure we can all combine.
Yeah,
on that
I got to double check.
For sure.
Yeah.
No worries. We'll make sure the people know when it's happening.
And I actually think that it would be probably for all our sakes. Like, I don't think we need to nail down like a set date for each one. We can, when we make it happen.
We make it happen. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Well, I just think if we
at least can set the next one in advance.
Yeah, exactly. And we try to set yours up on a Tuesday or Thursday because I just think it flows well. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, but no, we'll always plan them out. I ain't worried. So,
yeah, we good. We good.
Caught up on my detective for Tech Talk with the Comic Bros. And then I had to pick up because everyone was on the hype on this. And this actually at my LCS, it was one per customer on this cover. Deceased issue number 1. So I'll be excited to read this one. And then I'm torn between that one or this one as my favorite cover. But you know what? The little kid in me is just going to say this is my favorite cover that I picked up from DC this week for sure. And Batman Team 3, the Eastwood variant. And Batman looks so dope right there with the turtles around him as well. So those were my DC pickups. Who wants to go next with their DC pickups?
Kenny.
Get him, Jeff. You got some DC?
No.
No. All right, I'll show you DC. I got the 25-cent banger, You're the Villain.
I'm happy I did not pick that up. I heard it was garbage.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Batman 70, the B cover. I accidentally grabbed 2 because one's on my pull list. So like right when I walk in, he gives me the pull books, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I had those in my hand, and then I'm grabbing stuff off the rack. I'm like, ooh yeah, I'm gonna grab this Batman. Not even thinking, it was already in my hand. So, 2 of those.
There was a cover for that DC.
What did you say?
There was a cover for that Deceased. I didn't check, but was there a Matina cover for that Deceased? Because there was a variant cover. Yeah, that one. That looked dope, I thought. Like, I almost bought that, but I was like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, and another strike of my brilliance. I did buy them. I did buy them both, right? But I thought they were 2 different comics when I bought them. I was like, oh shit, I got like this is the same book. I was just out of it. I don't know. I was not paying attention today. So yeah, I did get the 2 covers, even though I thought I was getting 2 different comics. Yeah, that's it for my new DCs.
Did either of you guys shop have like the blank cover, sketch cover thing for Deceased variant for Deceased?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it did. Yo, my bad, Biggie Shaq. The price point on that 25-cent is great, but I heard the content inside of it was not that good, and that's what I was talking about. But I haven't read it, so maybe to your point, maybe I shouldn't say that. So
25 cents worth?
Yeah, good call on your call, Biggie Shaq. I'll take it. I'll take it. So, all right. So that was your DC pickups, Kenny. Was there any more?
Well, technically there was one more. It wasn't a new comic book day, DC, but I'll flex it real quick. Very low grade key comic, DC, 12-cent Batman, Poison Ivy's first appearance, baby. Cool. Yeah, buddy.
Nice.
That was it.
Fire.
What's next, Marvel?
We got Marvel, and you know what? Go ahead, Jeff. Kick it off with the Marvel pickups, baby.
Bam! I got War of the Realms, issue number 3.
Ooh, Cap looks cool on that. Can I see that Cap image again?
Man, I was trying to show off that cover earlier, and no one wanted nothing to do with that, yo. That's so whack, yo. That is.
You got like a little winter jacket on.
Yeah, he does. Like it's almost like one of those like bomber jackets, but it's kind of like with Captain America stuff. Yeah, that's all I got today.
That's all you got?
Right.
All right, word.
That was a haul right there, son.
Yeah, I know, right? I walked in and he was like, "You here to get your books?" I was like, "Yep." He's like, he looks at the list like, "Dang." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You only got one today." I was like, "I'll take it." I did pick something else up, but I can't show it because it's for the hunt.
Word.
I'm surprised you didn't pick up
Completely understandable.
one Marvel book I got, because I picked up Venom because I didn't own it, but the one Marvel book I got, I'm surprised you didn't grab, Jeff. That's Savage. That's Savage Avengers.
Yeah,
I read it already too.
That cover's so sick.
Maybe I'll have to go pick that one up tomorrow.
You got it, man. Hold on, let me go put that on Kenny so they can show that out.
Yeah, thanks, Biggie.
Yeah,
nice
that
one.
cover is nuts. I love that Wolverine, dude.
I'm not sure if they had it because I don't even remember seeing that one. So
you know what's funny is they had that that 1 in 25 that it's just Wolverine on it that everyone's been kind of like hype on, and I thought it looked cool too at a distance, but then when I held it up close,
did not look good. I had the same feeling. I thought about it too. It was priced for $18 at my LCS.
Yeah,
I thought about it and I was like,
up close the art wasn't as clean.
All right, what else, Marvel, you pick up, Kenny, since you started off?
Yep, that was it, man. That was all I had. Just Savage and the Venom.
Oh, wow. All right. Dang. All right. So I picked up Star Wars 65. I got 2 copies because I got a buddy of mine. He's really big into 2 tubes. So he's not into comics that much, but there was another issue with just 2 tubes on the cover that I picked up for Christmas. So
2 tubes, like the dancers wear?
Yeah, well, no, 2 tubes is what they call him. And his name is
2 tube is 90.
Yeah. But no, I picked him up because he's into that character, so I'm gonna gift that to him. I also picked up, as Jeff did, which was War of the Realms issue number 3, and as I mentioned earlier, probably gonna read this once we get off the air here. And then also, as Kenny mentioned, he picked up Savage Avengers issue 1. I already read this. This is awesome. Go read it. And then we'll dive deeper into it next week on the 90 Miles from Comics live Wednesday show. So make sure you go check this out. And this, like Kenny said, this cover's awesome. And this cover's dope too. The last Marvel book I picked up, Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History. And he's got Phoenix, the power of the Phoenix. And come on, bro. Anything that Paul Scheer's writing, comedian Paul Scheer writing books.
I saw that one and I was thinking about it, but I only got issue 1 and I missed issue 2, so I was like, I'm falling behind, so I didn't end up getting that one. But have you read that series so far?
Yes, sir. But Cosmic Ghost Rider is probably one of my favorite characters right now. I won't lie. Yeah. And I think it's cool that somebody else. It's the first time somebody else outside of Johnny Cates is like really writing him. Because I'm sure he's been in a couple other books that people have used him, but not like this. You know what I mean? And I think it's really cool that it's a comedian that's doing it. So, yeah, man. And what I love most about the book, like, you read the title, right? Destroys Marvel History. And you would think it would be, I don't know, like the way it seems, you would think he would be like going around killing everyone. But what he really did was he was dropped off in a point in time and he's like telling these stories to his kid that doesn't know it's him, that, his kid thinks he's his uncle. And then in a sense, like, you don't really know if these stories are true or not because he's been waiting for this time to happen. It's like right before his family dies. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I love about it. Like, he's telling these stories about major events that happened in Marvel history. And you would think, yeah, he's got to be lying, but is he really? I don't know. And that's my favorite part about it and my favorite take on it. So it's a great read, I think. So check it out if you're not.
Nice.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biggie Shack. I know Biggie Shack's giving some love for the first Ivy. I hear you, bro. I did kind of go quick with it because I didn't want to stunt. I mean, we're going through new comic book day stuff, so I don't want to linger on it, but I am pretty pumped. I've been looking for this book at a reasonable price for a long time. It's super low. I would have liked to have it a little nicer and with the pinup inside, but sadly the pinup is not in there. a little beat to the street. But hey, man, you know the motto.
Right.
LG's better than NG.
Yeah.
So it's all good, man. It still presents pretty nice. And once put in that Mylar, oh yeah, just bumped it up 2 grades, player.
Speaking of Mylar, I put that Boba Fett in Mylar. Shout out to Stone Steve Comics, and I wore my Austin shirt on the earlier show for Stone Cold Steve. But look, bro, how much? I love you, Steve, but bro, I had to put this bad boy in some Mylar. Look how much better this.
Oh yeah,
it's just
that's where it's at,
right? Beautiful. So yeah, I'm saying I should have put some Venom books behind me, but I still gotta rock the AOK books, man. Shout out to Steve.
Yeah. It's cool.
I want to read this, but I got to be so careful with it. That's the thing when you get these low-grade books. It's like,
oh, yeah, that's the worst.
Careful on the read.
Sometimes.
Oh, yo, what's up, Sam? Sam's
hey.
Hey. Ooh, yeah, Sam.
The architect himself. Unfortunately, we already reviewed Venom issue 13. The Symbiote Talk first episode was pretty fun. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Thank all of you guys.
Oh, I have one more comic book day book to show.
Oh, cool. Let's get
indie. We didn't get to the indie department.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I forgot to say the indie department. And I, as a slacker, I did not pick up an indie book as doing my due diligence as I should every week. So hit me, Kenny.
Indie book.
This is an indie team up with the TMNT.
One indie book, and it's the dopest cover of the week. This Red Sonja number 4. I freaking love that shit. It's like everything about it. How she's like super pale white, just like flat white. Like you said, the horns, the antlers. Her hair is like dripping blood. Dude, that thing is crazy loco.
Yeah.
That's right, Biggie.
Yo, shout out to my boy D-Hyde on the quick mod right there. Like I was getting ready to show that comment, but he already like hit the
them.
D-Hyde.
Yeah, man. So I just can't get enough of that cover. Beautiful.
Sick. Yeah, I'm torn between the 2 covers for me that we picked up today. I'm torn, I guess, between 3. I think this Cosmic Ghost Rider Phoenix one is really cool, but I'm really torn between this one because, to your point, man, this cover is just dope.
That Finch, oh yeah.
But then also this Eastman cover, bro. I'm going this one. The childhood and the kid in me.
Yeah, I almost picked that up too. I didn't.
Dude, the art is trash inside this Red Sonja.
I believe it.
Dude, I had no idea. You look at the cover, you're like, oh, that must be nice. Look at this shit.
I don't even own a Red Sonja book.
That shit is rough.
Rough.
I've never looked at one.
Yeah, true. Definitely wasn't covered by.
I always felt like most of them were, but I mean, I could be wrong about that. I just assumed. I've never read any.
Right. Yeah, for me, they definitely are.
All right, fellas. So let's.
All right, man. We did it.
We did it. Venom Symbiote Talk, episode 1. We reviewed Venom 13. Before we close it out, what was your favorite part of the book? Kenny, you're up first.
Oh, my goodness. My favorite part of the book? What, that Venom book?
Yeah.
Oh, that Venom book.
What's he going to say when it was over? When I was done reading it?
That magnificent moment when she handed him the stone, it built such drama. Like, oh no, what's going to happen? Is he going to work? I mean, there seems to be a catch to the stone. He's going to get powers, but of course, I mean, she's going to have control over him or something. There's going to be some consequence. He's just like, nope, done, peace.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
Arm chops off.
The best moment, honestly, is the beheading.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
That was my favorite moment.
That was mine too.
That was my favorite moment too.
It almost reminds me of like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat too. Like,
but and then I also like that other panel where
like
he's
clean off the
sitting
shoulders.
on top of he's just sitting on top, and he says, you know, as Jeff was showing off earlier, I am Venom on the bottom, but the head's flying off, and he's got the axe going through the air. I think it's
that whole action sequence. What, two pages or two, something like that. That was probably my favorite part. That action sequence was cool.
Yeah.
Biggie Shaq said his favorite part was the reveal on the last page, which that was a highlight. That was dope.
Yeah. So.
How about you? Did you say yours?
Yeah, mine was the same thing with Jeff. The whole beheading to that next part where he's like standing up and he's got the, you know, axe going through, his tongue's out, and the head's flying through the air. That was by far my favorite part of the book. So I'm excited to see what happens in issue 14, and you guys will hear us talk about it right here on 90MF Comics on the next episode of Symbiote Talk with the Comic Bros. And then next time you can hear us is we'll be talking Detective Comics 1002 on ComicHead 84. So check the Comic Bros out on ComicHead 84's channel when we go and jump into Detective Comic 1002. So make sure you go read it if you haven't, so you can be up on that with us. And is there anything you guys want to plug before we ride out?
I'm good, man. I had a good time. Thanks for getting together, everyone. It's giving me some time to get home and getting this taken care of.
Sweet. Yeah, man. I'm glad we got together. It's good to chat with you guys, hang out with you guys. And I guess as far as plugs go, I'll just give a shout to the Mr. Miracle channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're doing the Graders Notes. It's ComicHead. It's Meta Rock. It's Gino. It's Mr. Miracle. We're breaking it down. Marvel's Secret Wars. Be there or be square.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. As you know, thank you, Jeff, for joining us. As you all know, you guys can find him Friday on The Hunt, and we can check out that book that he teased us here on The Hunt Friday night. So make sure you go check out.
You can find him on one of the 25 shows he does.
Yeah.
Not hard to find, y'all.
You didn't want to plug it, but it's all right. We got you, Jeff. You'll find Jeff out in the YouTube community. You'll find me next on Tech Talks with these guys. You'll also find me on Story Comic Core on Monday nights and MCE on Monday nights. So make sure you find me there. Say what's up in the chat. You guys are awesome that join us here live. Sam Tangled Web, Dre Von Doom. We also got Biggie Shaq still in the building. We also have my boy D-Hide and Comic Lover Omega. Thank you guys. And anyone watching the replay, shout out to you guys. And until the next time, my saying to everyone is go get your books. Peace.
Yeah, read them too.
Most importantly, read your books.